So hello everyone, good morning, and hope everyone is well. I'm your trainer today, Wei-Qi Dai from iGroup Taiwan, and we are the reseller of Turnitin here in Taiwan. Welcome to today's Turnitin Student Version Training Workshop, and let's start it with our session today. So before dive into the session, let's talk about what is Turnitin. This system is a text similarity checking system. It will help you to know better the text similarity between your papers and the sources we indexed in the system. And the steps are very simple. First, you have to submit a document to the system. Then it will be checked against with their archive databases, such as the internet or the student paper repositories and the publications database. Then the system will provide you with a similarity report within 15 minutes to several hours. Then, based on this report, you can examine and revise your own work repeatedly in order to enhance the originality of your own text, such as your paper or your thesis, etc. Then let's move to the part to walk through from the account activation, submitting document, and how to review and download the similarity report for me. The first part will be the account activation. There are two different ways for account creation. The first one is called self-enrollment in libraries class. That means you can go to the e-resources system in the library website to acquire the class ID and the enrollment key. Then enroll yourself in the class created by the NCHU library. So let's see how to do that. Okay, so the first you have to access the library's website. And this is in English version. Then click at Electronic Resources button at the top. Then you will see an entry called Database. Then you will be led to the e-resources system. There you could click at Turnitin here, or you can find some entry here, also labeled Turnitin, or you can search the name Turnitin, Turnitin, in the search bar. Then you can see the information here. Then you have to access this pink icon. You will find this class ID and a password in the little window pop up by here. And also you can see there will be some introduction of this system. And the information of the class ID and the class enrollment key is very important to the next step. So you can keep this tab. Then we will go back to this part later. Okay, so first go to this e-resources system and search for Turnitin. Then you can find this pink icon labeled, this class ID and a password. Then click at it, you will see this information. Then keep this tab. Then the next step, we have to open a new tab to go to Turnitin's official website, which will be www.turnitin.com. Then click at Create Account on the top right of the page. Then we will see a page in blue. Here where identity will be the student. So click at the student labeled here to create your own user profile. Only the student can create their own account by this method. The teaching assistant or the instructor, they have to apply their account they have to go to reach out to the department office, and they will help them to create an instructor account. So this way only suitable for the student. Okay, so go to the next page, create a new student account. Here we have to input this class ID and the class enrollment key, which we just mentioned several slides before. At the e-resource system, in the pink icon, we will have this information about the class ID and the class enrollment key. Then you have to paste it in this blank. And then next, you have to fill out all of the user information, such as your first name and your last name or your family name. Please remind the spelling and uppercase or lowercase. Then you have to fill out this email address, which will be a NCHU email address. It is required for using your own school email address, or the administrator may delete your own account. Then you have to confirm the email address here. Again, the same information. Then you can enter your own password, which is for the future login in the system. The password must be more than 8 characters. Then confirm it again. The next one, in the center, you can select a secret question from this drop-down menu. Find one question. Then enter your own answer for this secret question. This is for the future use of password reset. If one day you have forgotten your password, you can follow this secret question and your own answer to reset your own password. Then the last step will be the user agreement. After checking if it's okay, please click Get I'm not a robot and click Get I agree, create this profile. Then a new account will be created for you. Then you can log in with your own school email and the password for yourself. So the account creation is completed. That's the first step. How to enroll myself to create a new account for myself in by these libraries class. Then there are another way. You have to consult your instructor or your own department staff on how to applicate for a Turnitin account. That means your instructor or the department staff, they can create a class and enroll you in as a student. Then you will have a student account to use their class and upload the papers. So if you are in this circumstance, you have to reach out to them. And after they enroll you in this class, you will receive a Turnitin welcome email in your email inbox, which you provide them to register for this account. So in this screenshot, you can see that here is an English version and here is a Chinese version. It will depend on the language interface that your instructor who enroll you in their class who are using the language of the interface. If your instructor is using English, you will receive this English version email. If they are using Chinese, then you will receive this Chinese version email. And the welcome email, the beginning of this email will indicate your first name and the last name created by the instructor or the staff, department staff in Turnitin. So maybe it will be in English or in Chinese. And this last name information is very important to our next step. So you have to copy it or just remember it and it will be used for the next step. Then we can click at the Setup Account, the red button, to proceed. Then in this page, you have to enter your email address and your last name in the welcome email. So the email address is where you have received that welcome email. For example, your school email address. And the last name is the information that indicate in the beginning of the welcome email, just like I mentioned before. Here, for example, this Miss Jane Doe. Jane is her first name and Doe is her last name. So she has to paste a copy and paste this family name or last name in this blank. Then click at the next. If you see that there is a combination is wrong pop-up, that means either you enter the wrong email address or the wrong family name or last name. You have to confirm with the instructor or the department staff which information they had input for you for the account creation. Then after that, you can pass this stage. Go to the next. Then a new email will be sent to your inbox with the subject, set up your Turnitin account. And it will contain a link to set up the account. In that email is available only for 24 hours. So after you see this reminder, we better go back to our school email inbox, then check for the new email. And after that, we can open that email, click here, the link to create password labeled here. And this create password URL will contain unique ID and will expire if you do not click it within 24 hours. That means if it's no longer working, click the link under here. Has your link expired? Then there will be another here. Then after that, you can request a new email. Then use the new email. There will be the same link labeled here to proceed the next step. Okay, so we have to set up our own password by this email. So click at here. Then enter and confirm your new password. Your password must be more than 8 characters, containing at least 1 letter and 1 number. And confirm the same information. Then create your password. And now you can log in with your email address and your password. After click at login with your own email address and your password, and you can access the service. Okay, then we will see a page in gray. Here you have to select a secret question from the drop-down menu and then enter your answer in the blank, just as we did in the previous step. We also see that in the account creation, the self-enrollment method. And if everything is okay, click at the next. And the final stage will be the user agreement. Then you can check all the agreements and then click at I agree, continue. Then you can start to use the service. And that will be the whole procedure, how to activate your own account. So all in all, there are 2 ways to create your own account. The first one is to self-enrollment in the libraries class. You have to go to the e-resource system and find that class ID and the enrollment key. And then enroll yourself by go to Turnitin's official website and create an account and input all the information needed, and an account will be created for you. Or you will have another method, which is to consult your own advisor, instructor, or your department staff. Then they will help you to add you in their own class. Then you'll receive this welcome email and follow all of the steps. Then you can have your own account created. And if you didn't receive the welcome email or forgot your password, please follow the next steps. They are similar. They are similar with how previously we activated our own account. So you can go to the main page, www.turnitin.com, and then click get login on the top right of the page. Then you will see this page in blue, which you have to click get forgot your password, click here to reset your password. Or if you didn't receive any welcome email, you can click at here also. Then you have to fill out your email address and the last name in the welcome email if you had one. If you didn't know the information about what is my email address and what is my last name in the system, you can consult your instructor or the department staff who created this class for you. They will know what is the information they create for you. Then after that, click at the next. Then if you haven't activated your own account, you will receive an email just like the 1B process. Then you can go to your email inbox and find that email, which you can set your password. Then follow all of the steps, and you will have your own account. If you are for the circumstances that you have forgotten your own password, you can go to your email inbox, find out the Turnitin email welcome email before sent to you to your own email inbox to confirm your last name and the email address. Yeah, and here are two different scenarios. For the first one is I remember my answer to the secret question. If you do remember the answer, you can fill out it in the blank here. Then click at the next. Then you can directly reset your own user password, which should at least more than 8 characters long. Then click at the next. And for another scenario, if you've forgotten the answer to your secret question, don't worry. We can also click at the forgot your answer labeled here below. After clicking at that, a new email will be sent to your email inbox, and which will be also expired after 24 hours. Then, after we go back to our student email inbox, we can see that a password reset email just coming in. Then we can click at the here label the link to reset our own password. And if this link has expired, you can check another here below to request a new email. Then the final stage, we can reset our password within a new password more than 8 characters long, and then click at the next. Then finally, we can log in with your student email and with your new password. And everything will be okay. The whole process is completed, and you can log in again to Turnitin. And let's go to the third part, how to submit the papers to the system. And for us, how do we access Turnitin? We have to go to its main site, which will be, again, www.turnitin.com, and then click at Login on the top right of the page. Here, you may input the email address and your own password. Click at Login, then you can access the system. And here, we will see a student homepage of Turnitin. Here are several basic settings. The first one is user information. You can change your password anytime here. Then the second one will be the language setting. If you find that you want to change the user interface to another language, please feel free to go to here and check, find another language and switch to them. Then in the center are the class information that you are now enrolling in, such as the class name or the instructor name who created this class for you, and the class status and the start date and its end date. When a class is marked as active, that means you can submit your papers and get your similarity report. But when it shows inactive, the papers cannot be uploaded anymore. So if the classes were created by your advisor or the department staff, reach out to them and ask them to enroll you in a new class. And also, please do not click at the drop class button. That means we will drop yourself out of the class and everything you submitted it to will disappear from your account. So do not click at here. And if you were using this self-enrollment method to create an own account, for the class created by the library, if expired, you will need to go to the NCHU library's website and find the e-resources system again. Then to find a new class ID and the class enrollment key to enroll yourself in the new class. That means after maybe the next semester, the previous class will be expired. That means after that, you have to go to the NCHU library's website and go to the e-resources system to find that new class ID and the class enrollment key. After you got this information, you can log into your Turnitin account. Then here you will see a button, Enroll in a Class. Then click at this label. You will see a blank to input this class ID and the class enrollment key. After enter this information, you will immediately have this new class in the center of your class information. Then you can start to use that new class to continue to upload your new papers or thesis for checking. Okay, so this class ID and the class enrollment key will be updated each semester. So everyone, if you find that this class was expired, you have to go to the e-resources system, find the newest information, then go to this enroll in a class label, and then enroll you again in that new class for next semester. Okay, so that's how to enroll myself in a new class. And if you want to submit the paper, you have to click at the class name where we would like to submit a paper to. So click at the name. Then we will go to this called assignment inbox. Here you may see multiple columns. Each one of them is an assignment folder. And the library will create several assignment folders for you to submit your papers to check for the similarity. We may suggest you to use the first folders for the daily revision and leave one, at least, for checking your oral defense draft or the final version, and we will explain why later. So all the assignment folders were created by the instructors who create this class for you. If you have any questions related to these folders, the numbers of the folders or the settings of the folders, you have to consult the instructor or the department staff who create this class for you. Then we can see in these columns, you will see this button in blue, which is Submit. When click at it, you can submit your papers to the system. However, if the button become gray, it means that the submission is unavailable. Maybe because the assignment folder has not started yet, or is already expired. Then click at Submit to upload your own paper. And let's take a look on what kind of documents are available to check for the similarity. The system can check only the text. It cannot identify any forms, images, and graphics. And furthermore, files generated by LaTeX, that's a kind of document preparation software, cannot be accepted by the system. And the document you are going to submit must less than 100 megabytes and 800 pages. Then below are the file types which can be checked. For example, the DOC or the DOCX generated from the Microsoft Word, or other kinds of format. If you would like to submit a PDF, please remind that the PDF must be, which is protected with a password or contains only images, will be rejected during the upload attempt. That means before you upload the PDF, you have to try to open it, then copy and paste a section to a plain text editor, such as Microsoft Notepad or Microsoft Word. If there is no text copy over the section, it means that it's not the actual text. So that PDF file will not be read, cannot be recognized by Turnitin. So it will be failed or have some error, or you will not see any similarity report generated from Turnitin. So that's the file requirements. And now we are going to the process of submitting a paper. Here are two different types of submission modes. First, we can select the single file upload. Here, you have to enter your own thesis or dissertation title. We recommend you to enter the full title of your thesis and dissertation. Then, if you forgot the file requirement, you can check at this, what can I submit? Then select your file in your computer or Dropbox or Google Drive. Then upload your file. And after that, you have to review the preview panel. If everything is okay, click at Confirm. Then you are going to the final stage. Here you will see a congratulations reminder. That means your paper is uploaded to the system, and you can go back to wait for the similarity report to be generated. And at the meantime, you will receive an email to enter in your student email inbox. That is the digital receipt. It means that it's a proof that you have uploaded your paper in the system. And here we have another mode, which is cut and paste upload. So you can switch to this mode and also enter your thesis and dissertation title or your document title. Then you can paste your text from your document editor, such as Microsoft Word. Then upload this paragraph or section of your text. it can be also uploaded to the system to check for the similarity. And again, you will see that this preview panel, please confirm your submission. Then you will see that the submission is completed. We can return to the assignment inbox at least. Then after we return to the assignment inbox page, the paper we just submit is now labeled processing. When this is the first 3 attempts to submit papers in every assignment folder, it could take about 15 minutes to several hours to return your report. And the waiting time depends on the length and the file size of your submission, which means if your file is bigger or lengthier, it will wait more time. And as long as you have the internet connection, you can log in your Turnitin account, submit papers, or check in the result at any time. That means if you have, you don't have to stay in the campus. You can go out for anywhere. If you have this Wi-Fi access or internet access, you can log into your own account in Turnitin and submit your papers and generate the similarity report and then check in the result. So that will be okay. And when the report is generated, you can see that it will become from processing to the color tag and the percentage. That means the report is generated. And you can click at the percentage or the color tag to access to view your report. And if you want to download your report, I'll show you how to do that after this process. Do not click at the download icon here, because this download icon is only for downloading your original document, such as your thesis. Okay, so it's not for download the similarity report. We will find it in the document viewer pop-up after we click at here. Okay, and you will see that there are different color tags and the percentage range. The color of the report icon indicates the similarity score of the paper. The score is based on the amount of matching or similar text that was uncovered. The redder the color is, the higher proportion of your text is similar to the data indexed in the databases. But these indices do not reflect whether a paper has or has not been plagiarized. The human interpretation is always required for interpret the similarity report. When you got a high similarity score, the most important thing is to examine your report to find out the reason why you got a very similar similarity result with others' work, and how can you improve the originality of your text. Then you have to consult your own advisor and revise your own paper. The interpretation of this data should be made and discussed by you and your instructor or advisor. So please do not judge if there are plagiarism or not only by this color tag or the percentage of this the similarity score. It's very important concept, which I want to show you. And how to resubmit our papers. Because the library or the instructor who created this class for you, they may allow students to override the previous submission until each assignment's due date. So you may use this resubmit button to after your first submit. And for Turnitin, the submission is unlimited. That means you can resubmit as many times as you want until the assignment due date of that folder. And the system will not have limit on how you use the assignment folder. You can override the same assignment folder with the same file name, the different file name, the same file type or different file type, etc. If it's a file type that we can, the system can recognize, they will generate similarity report for you. But in one folder, at one time, it can only upload one file. So they cannot upload the 2 files at the same time. So if you want to resubmit, you have to overwrite the previous submission and replace by the newest one and generate the similarity report. So after finishing the revision of your paper, you can submit again clicking at this resubmit button. After that, this pop-up will remind you about. Please note, your earlier submission of your report will be overwritten and disappear forever, replaced by the newest one. So if you'd like to keep your previous version of the similarity report, you have to do that before you use this resubmit button to replace with a new submission. And the second point is very important too. For each assignment folder, you are allowed 3 resubmission attempts where the similarity report will generate immediately, straight away. But after 3 attempts, for example, from the 4th, 5th, 6th, 100, 1000 time, every time you will have to wait 24 hours before a new similarity report can be generated. This is a regulation, a limitation for the student account. So every student will have the same limitation when using these folders. After resubmission of 3 times, every time you resubmit, you have to wait for 24 hours. Then you can see a new similarity report to be generated. So maybe you can consider to switch to another assignment folder. If it's not yet reached the limitation of 3 times, you can generate the similarity report straight away. But if every assignment folder, everyone reached the limitation, the 3 times, for every resubmission in every assignment folder, you have to wait for 24 hours to see your similarity report. And no one can speed up or generate this report in advance, ahead of time for you. So the only thing you can do is to wait if that's the case. Then we can click on the score to access our similarity report. So that's the next stage. How to view the similarity report. Here is the report viewer. At the left-hand side is your own work, your own document submitted. And on the right-hand side are the similarity toolbar and the download toolbar. The similarity toolbar is in red, and the download toolbar is in gray. Then we start with the red one. So here are different icons. The first one it calls Match Overview. This Match Overview will show the highest matches together. The matches are color-coded. You can see different colors and with the numbers text listed from the highest proportion to the lowest proportion, the percentage. And in this list, only the top or best matches are shown. Then you can go to this icon and check for all the underlying matches will be visible in this match breakdown view. After click on this icon, then you can see the little sources beneath these top sources. And that will show you what is the paragraphs similar in your own document with the databases. It will be highlighted with the color and the numbers. That's called Match Overview. And the second one will be the all sources. In this view, it will show you the similarities with one source at a time. You can use your cursor to switch between different sources, and it will show you what is the same text. It will be painted in red. And all the sources also have been found will be displayed and sorted by the highest percentage to the lowest percentage. And the last will be the filter and settings. From here, you could use this tool to exclude quotations, bibliographical material, and some small sources. And we will talk about it later. And let's go back to our report. Here, we access the first icon, the match overview. Here, the sum of the similarity single matches come from the total number of the similarity score. And the number and color match each other from the right-hand side to the left-hand side. That means if you click at the numbers in left, and you can also click at the numbers in on right, and they will show you the same thing. And in order to view the match, you can either click at the highlighted text or the match in the list. For example, here we click on the number 3 matches in purple. Then a side-by-side window will show a preview of the matching text. That will also show you the original website of its name and what type of sources it comes from. Then it will be the original text in this little window. And the window highlights where the match has been made in the original source text. And we can compare the source text with our own text. And the most important thing is to examine closely, why do these matches occur? The painted paragraph. The matches occur when the texts are similar. For example, if you have used some common phrases or direct quotation or the bibliography or some words, if it have similar with the information in our database, they will be highlighted in the color and just flag it to you to examine, to check for the similarity. So in this stage, please confirm, is this text the similar paragraph, some quote, some common words, or some common phrases? If that's the case, did I cite the source correctly? Or should I paraphrase the sentence or the whole paragraph? Because the essence is try to use your own word to express the core idea. Students have to use academic writing techniques such as the paraphrase or the rewrite standards to revise the high similarity matches or add more original text using your own words to reduce the text similarity. Then here is an article at the bottom talking about how to write to prevent the plagiarism for your reference. And you can check it when you have your handout downloaded. And also, we can click at this little icon to go to the full source view. After click at it, you can see that the full text in the little window will be going to the right-hand side. Then if you click at this link, it will take you to the original web page. And here also marks that which source it comes from. For example, here this entry is come from an internet source. And I can see all of the similar paragraphs in red with my own document. And we've talked about in the beginning of the slides in the introduction, Turnitin got 3 different types of databases. The first one will be internet database, and second one is student paper, and the third one is publications. When you are seeing different sources, if it's marked as internet sources, that means the full text are able to be viewed in that full text mode. However, it marked as a student paper, that means the information will be remain protected. All the information about the student paper or the instructor paper will be unable to be viewed because the company protects and cares about the privacy and the copyright of its users. So if one paper was indexed or stored in the Turnitin's database, the author's information or the full text cannot be revealed to anyone publicly. For a student paper, only its instructor who create that class for him or her will see that full text of the student paper. No one other from that instructor can view that paper. Okay, so if you have this similarity, if you have seen the match with other sources such as a student paper, you will see a little window and some text talking about the privacy and copyright, and they will not show you the full text. You will only see that submitted to the title of the institution. For example, submit to NCHU or submit to the name of the institutions. And the third one will be the publications. If you find that there is some matches come from a publication source, because most of the publications are inaccessible because they are behind a paywall. Everyone has to pay for view the papers. So you can, by clicking on this title, and it will take you to the publisher's website. Then you can view the whole article only if the database or the journal are subscribed by your own institution. Then you can download that PDF paper and open it, then manually compares it with the similarity match. So for the publication, we may not access the full text in the system. And let's go to the another icon, which is all sources. In this vertical histogram, icon represent all sources. This mode helps you to see how much of the similar text come from the single source. So you can click on each one of here, then you can see the similar text will painted in red. And you can see also the little sources come from the main source. And at the end of this list, for the student, you will not see this button because it is limited only for instructors. If you need any help, you can consult your instructor or the department staff who create this class for you. Because if there are high similarity sources matched to your previously published papers or some sources that you think you have to consult your instructors and help them, ask them for help, then you can contact them and maybe they will help you to use this exclude sources button from their instructor account. Then after after exclude the sources they used, then the whole percentage will be refreshed and drop down. You will see a new similarity report without seeing that matches or that sources excluded by the instructors. So if you have any questions related to the sources which need excluded, go to your instructor or your department staff. Okay, and the next will be this filter and setting icon. For this tool, we can reduce the similarity index and refine the number of matches shown in the report. There are 3 different tools. The first one is to exclude quotes. That means you can, by using it, the system will disregard any matches that use the following quotation marks in red, and the blue one are not supported. If I tick on this box to exclude quotes and apply changes, that means all the quotations quoted by the quotation mark will be disappear from the similarities percentage from the view of the report. We can check for the result. Do you see that? The matches just disappear and the report refreshes itself. Then you can see the similarity score just drop down. And if you don't want to use that the tool, you can tick off the box and apply the changes, and all of the settings will be go back, just as the original one. The second tool will be this exclude bibliography. The system will disregard any matches after these headings. For example, reference, references, resource, bibliography, literature, etc. You can find the different titles accessible by the system here in the handout. So in the document you want to submit it in Turnitin, you have to use this correct heading so that the system can recognize it and help you to exclude the matches after the heading. So tick on the box and click Get Apply the changes. And after that, you can see the bibliography match will be disregarded from the report, and the percentage will refresh itself and drop down. And all of the tools can be used at the same time. So if you need it, you can tick both of the box and apply the changes. Then the next one, we can also exclude some small sources by either word count or by the percentage. However, please note that this function to exclude the word count or the percentage is approximate, and human judgment is still the final arbiter for proper quotation or bibliographic reference. Because in a large document, even a set to exclude the 1% of similar sources may exclude very large matches or sources. So please use it very carefully. We suggest you to consult your advisor or instructor how much sources you are allowed to exclude. Then you can use that tool to do the exclusions. Please discuss it with your own advisor or your department. if they allow you to use that tool. So for this example, if I excluded this less than 1% matches, 1% sources, then everything that is less than 1% are removed from the list. We can see that this is the updated the status of the similarity report, and the percentage will drop down. So that's all of the tools we can use in this funnel tool. But please consult the department office or your advisor how to use that. And here is a frequently asked questions. Could you tell me how many % of the similarity score given by the system is appropriate? And I got something percentage from Turnitin. Is it okay or not? Okay, please bear in mind that the system is only a tool detecting text similarities. The similarity score is not a plagiarism indicator. We just mentioned that the indices do not reflect whether the system's assessment of the paper has or has not been plagiarized. So do not judge the existence of the plagiarism only by the similarity score. Also, a high similarity score does not necessarily mean there is plagiarism. It may include false positives. The false positives could be, first, the term usually used in your field, such as grammatical terms, the name of the department or the organizations, or some terms you have to use in your research field. Then the second one will be the reference list, properly cited and quoted text, or you have the permission of the text. And the third one is your own published paper, or some papers may be incorrectly indexed or stored in the student paper database by the instructor or your department staff. So for the above are the possible false positive, which will be similar with others' papers and cause the accumulation of the matches and have a high similarity score. So if there is a big chunk of the similar text, you could try to rewrite them using paraphrase or summarize techniques. If the content cannot be rewrite, you can consult your advisor or instructor, and they may help you to exclude certain sources by their instructor account. Or you can talk with them about how to use the filter icon to reduce the similarity score. Therefore, based on the above situations, there are no magical score for the similarity report. The best way is always to discuss the appropriate criteria with your department staff or your instructor or advisor. If you are checking your journal manuscript, you can review the policy of publishers and journals. And after that, if everything is okay, you just have revised your own papers and then use some filters by receiving the approval of your instructor or your advisor. Then you can download the similarity report here. We can click at the icon in gray, the arrow, to download the current view report. Click at current view. You can download the similarity report in a PDF format, which you have to give it to your department staff or your advisor or instructor, or the committee members. And the second one is to how to download the digital receipt. You have to download the digital receipt and print it out for the school living procedure, and I will show you later. So the first one and the second one will be you will use it to download some documents. And this is our similarity report copy. So after you download the current view report, you can see that the first is the cover, which contains some basic information about this paper. And from the next page is the original text, which contains color-coded matches. You can see different color and different numbers. Then at the last page, we can see a similarity index with the sources list, which just match to the different colors. And if you had excluded the bibliography, quotation, or small sources with the filter, it will be noted at the bottom of the report. So your department staff or your institution may examine how do you use that filter. So please use it carefully and honestly. And another, we just mentioned, we can download the digital receipt. For the digital receipt, this is a sample copy of it. And the master or doctoral students are required to submit this printed digital receipt version to the library in your school leaving procedure. That means before you leave the university, you have to print this copy out and hand it to your library. So please fill out the full title of your dissertation when you submit your paper in Turnitin, so that the library can check for the correct information, and if it's okay, you can leave the university. So that's also important for the administration procedures. Okay, and the last icon will be the I represents information. Here are two different important information. The first one is submission ID. If you encounter any issues, please contact the library with this error screenshot and your submission ID, and we can help you to resolve this issue. And then the second one will be the submission count. This number indicates how many times you submitted papers to that assignment folder. Remember that if we use the assignment folder more than 3 times, we have to wait for every time for the resubmission until 24 hours later to have your similarity report to be generated. So that's the use for, you can check for a similarity count, and you will know that you have to wait or not. And the last page will be our frequent asked questions. The first one will be, I have been waiting for several hours, but my similarity report is still processing. How can I do? Okay, if your paper contains figures, form, or is very, very large, the Turnitin system needs more time to process your report. Just give it more time. Wait for longer. But if you still didn't see your report, please ask your library staff along with your screenshot and the submission ID, and we can help you to examine what was the issue. For another point, you can examine the submission count. If you submitted papers to that folder more than 3 times, you have to wait for 24 hours. If that's the case and you cannot wait longer, you can consult your own instructor or your department staff and ask them if they can create new folders for you. If they can create new assignment folders for you, you can get the similarity report within 24 hours. Because every new folders, they will have 3 the first attempts that you can have your similarity straight away after the submission. Okay, the question number 2. I got a high similarity score and the first matches are my previous draft. What can I do? Because the instructor may have incorrectly stored your papers in the database. So if you see that circumstance, you may consult your instructor for help to exclude the sources in your report. And after that, you will see a report without matching to your own papers or your previous draft. Then below is the flow chart, which the instructors or department staff can refer to. It is for them because the steps are only for the instructor. They can ask for permanent deletion of the papers indexed or stored in the Turnitin database. And after that, the administrator of each department will receive that request. And after their deletion, the paper will be erased from the system. Then you or the instructor can re-upload the paper. Then the match will not show again. So if you find you are in this issue, you have this issue, you can go to your instructor or department staff, and then they will help you to contact the administrator for asking the permanent deletion of the paper index in the system. Then here are some resources that we recommend to use. Here you can find the Student Quick Start Guide created by the library and other resources such as the Support Center, User Guide, or tutorial videos. And this are the contacts of the college staff. When you have any questions using Turnitin, please feel free to consult them. And you can find out this in their handout. All right, I think this will be the end of my presentation. And thank everyone for joining today's training. If you have any questions, please feel free to unmute yourself or leave it in the chat box. And I'll be glad to answer any questions related to how to use the system. But if you have any question related to the regulation of the graduation examination or the similarity score of your criteria, you have to contact your own department office. Thank you.